I said our time is out. My time is out after 12 years. It's been a fantastic journey for me. I really enjoy it. I've been a lucky guy all my working life. I've been doing, every day getting up in the morning and really wanting to go to work. I have some fantastic colleagues. I'm really happy to hand this organization over to Thorleifsson, who will take up the helm after me. I have the best management team I've had in my work life, as 30 years of having sort of people business. It's all about people. Working very closely together, I think we all learn to know each other and be friends. We had the first day in the Northern Week yesterday, where the whole Northern here for a whole week, which is about building culture, agree on what we're doing, what's the agenda going forward, what's the standard that we adhere to. I showed a graph of all the people outside Norway, close to 30 people now, different nationalities, different religion, different color. Only one was there when I started 12 years back. It's been an organization in growing rapidly, with an owner and with a governance system in Norway that all the other DFIs in Europe can envy us, because it actually works. The owner is doing what owners should do. The board has its delegation, and me and the team, management team, working with the board. I was asked some time back by somebody about how do we see the board meeting. Sometimes, and I must admit, when I started, it was a bit of a bumpy road in the first couple of years. So then the board meeting was not always something that you looked forward to. This guy asked me, how is it? How do you feel when you go out of the door after the board meeting? Because very often, people, there's a lot of frustration in these governance processes, and people are a bit depressed or frustrated or need to rebuild sort of energy. That's not the way we have it at the present, and for many years in Northern. We go. We enjoy going to the board meeting, and we are even more motivating going out of the board meeting. And that's why we've been able to do this. Building the platforms, building a strategy, a bit different from some of the other DFIs, more forward-leaning. Like some of the stories that you've been hearing here in terms of our investees out there. We work closely with them. And when the going gets rough, we don't run for hiding. Then the message is, get your hands around this company. Work closely with management. Make sure we need to agree in terms of how to take it forward, and standards, definitely. But we will be there when the going gets rough. And we have some excellent stories in actually being able to do that, and for that reason, taking companies forward. So I'm going to miss all of you. I got to meet even the NGO debate. I think but I think it's important for us. I think it's important that to have a fairly open discourse in Norway on development going forward. I think it is an issue, as I alluded to in the beginning. Us at the top of the very, 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 very top of the pyramid in the world. Difficult for us because none in our generation have made all the difficult choices that people at the bottom need to do to take the next step. So for that reason, we need an open and honest debate, and I think that also today has contributed to that. I'll miss, of course, the colleagues. I'll miss all our partners out there. I have a few of my EDFI colleagues in the audience. Been so much enjoying working with them in Europe and setting the DFI community in a broader sense on the agenda. I think we also made some very significant step forward in that regard. That said, Kristin, I so much enjoyed having you as a chair for all these years. The floor is yours.
I suppose for some of you it's hard to believe that it's Kjell's free will that he's leaving the position as a CEO in Norfund. But now the time has come, And we'd like to thank you, Kjell, on behalf of the board. We'd like to express our great gratitude for what you've done and what you've achieved during these 12 years. I've had the pleasure to work with you all these years, and I'm very impressed about how you have moved the organization forward. So, with professional skills, strong will, passion, and persistence, you have transformed Norfund from a small, young, and unknown organization to be one of the most important and most respected DFIs in Europe. And you've also been a very strong leader. You have made 70 employees to work in the same direction for the same goals according to our mandate and our strategy. So thank you so much. And then it's my privilege to introduce and welcome the new CEO of Norfund. Thorleifsson has extensive experience as an investor and as an active owner. He has a deep political and social understanding, and he has a wide network in Norway and abroad. So we in the board, we are confident that he, with his expertise, his experience, and his engagement in Norfund's mandate, that he will be the right person to lead Norway in the Norfund, not Norway. Erna Solberg would be very angry. No, Norfund in the years to come. So please welcome Thorleifsson.
Well, thank you very much for those kind words. Luckily, I'm not trying to lead Norway by any means. Norfund feels like right now like a very tall order, and particularly following up and taking on the CEO role after Kjell, feels like a high mountain to climb. I mean, you're a straight shooter. You're not just a tall guy, but your steps and your shoes will be hard to fill. So, and as Kristin said, I mean, you've really put Norfund on the map locally and internationally, and the portfolio speaks for itself. So, I hope I can give you a call from time to time. Probably need that. I've been following Norfund from the sideline since its inception, and and the update that we received today and this afternoon clearly illustrates the importance of the work that Norfund is doing, and it's been encouraging and very inspiring. I've also, over the last few weeks, had the chance to interview on a one-on-one basis most of the team members of Norfund, and that's been highly energizing and inspiring. It's a strong team, very diverse, interesting backgrounds, and they're very committed, and they have a strong passion about Norfund and what Norfund is doing. And clearly, it's so much about team, so much about people, and to me, that was indeed very encouraging. As to my background, I started off with a couple of years. I worked as a political advisor here in Norway. I spent some 5 years at what at the time was seen to be the most international business we had in Norway in the shipping industry. But then after some years, I realized that sort of life was a bit too short for work for people. I've inherited too much money, and I got my first browser, and I felt that things were happening elsewhere. So I started a venture capital firm with some others that I co-founded. And over some 20 years, we managed to take it to become a leading European firm, and we've invested in more than 140 companies, and some of them have grown to become big. I've also had the opportunity to co-found a social impact fund that has been, for some 10 years, that's been investing in Eastern Africa, and as such had some involvements in Uganda, Kenya, and other places. So the bulk of my career then has been in investing, being an active investor working with companies. That being said, even having that investor experience and having been through some ups and downs, and being an investor in itself is always difficult. It's never easy to invest money. But looking at Norfund, it feels even more challenging because it's certainly more multifaceted than being a regular commercial investor. I mean, clearly, we're investing in the taxpayers' money. I mean, it's our money. So there's clearly a lot more scrutiny, transparency need, active monitoring, and a number of evaluations, and also the fact that such a big crowd is being gathered, it's also because, clearly also because it's done on behalf of the taxpayers and everyone here in Norway. And secondly, the mandate that Norfund has, which was put down in the law in 1997, is such that Norfund is supposed to invest and build companies that can become profitable and viable. And that should be done in companies that wouldn't otherwise be established because of high risk. And it means that Norfund is investing in geographies that come out very often with extra challenges regarding corruption, regarding macro risks and lack of proper business governance. And thirdly, I mean, as you've heard today, Norfund clearly also has got a goal to, beyond building profitable companies, to foster sustainability, positive social impact, and job creation. So despite all of these challenges, I feel highly energized. I'm really looking forward to get this going. And I appreciate also the interest that you guys are showing in Norfund, and I will do my best not to disappoint you, and also to make sure that Norfund can keep on moving forward, evolve, create further impact, and I look forward to being on this stage again next year. And Kjell, please come back and stay active, and thank you very much.